They said women were born to obey, to stay behind walls of silence. But in every century, in every empire, there were women who refused to listen. Women who picked up the sword, the crown, or the fire of rebellion, and rewrote what it meant to be powerful. This is their story, the story of the women who shook the world. It begins in ancient Britain, when the land burned under the boots of Rome. They thought they had conquered everyone, until they met Boudica, queen of the Iceni tribe. Her husband was killed, her daughters were taken, but she did not bow. She rose from ashes, her hair the color of flame, her heart made of iron. On her chariot, she stood before her army and cried, "This is not about victory, it's about vengeance." The roar that followed shook the hills of Britannia. For a moment, even Rome trembled. Thousands of miles away, beneath the golden sun of Egypt, a woman ruled the world through wisdom, Cleopatra. She wasn't just a queen, she was a strategist, a linguist, a diplomat, and above all, a survivor. While others used swords, Cleopatra used knowledge. She spoke to kings in their own tongues. She turned enemies into allies. And when Rome's greatest men came to conquer her, they found themselves conquered by her mind. Power, she once said, is not given. It is taken gracefully. Her empire may have fallen, but her name became immortal. Centuries later, in a war-torn France, a teenage girl named Joan of Arc heard a voice no one else could. The voice told her she was chosen to save her people. At just 17, she led soldiers twice her age. She carried not fear, but faith, and marched into battle wearing armor that gleamed like hope itself. When they captured her, she did not beg for life. She looked at her enemies and said, "I fear nothing, for I was born to do this." They burned her alive, but could not burn her spirit. Her flames lit the path for generations of courage. And in the distant east, Japan's land of honor and discipline, another legend was born, Tomoe Gozen, a woman who fought beside samurai, not behind them. Her armor was silver, her bow unshaking, her presence struck fear even in generals. They said she was beautiful, but it was her bravery that made men kneel. When her lord fell in battle, she refused to run. She charged into a sea of swords and arrows, cutting through them like the wind through bamboo. "If death is my destiny," she said, "then let me meet it with dignity." Across centuries and continents, their voices echo, not in words, but in willpower. They were queens, warriors, saints, and rebels. Each of them carried the same fire, the belief that a woman's strength is not measured by what she endures, but by what she refuses to surrender. And today, their stories still live in every woman who dares to speak, to lead, to rise. The world remembers the kings, the conquerors, the tyrants who ruled with fear. But history's truest power came not from crowns or empires. It came from the courage of those who were never meant to rule, yet did. These were the women who broke chains, who turned pain into legacy. So if you ever doubt your strength, remember them. Remember Boudica's fire, Cleopatra's wisdom, Joan's faith, and Tomo's blade. Because their stories whisper still, through the wind, through the centuries, through the forgotten echoes of history. If you believe these voices should never fade, keep them alive. Like this story, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to Forgotten Echoes History.